We have Bob Kirk, John Sortikys, and Pete Benton. And we're going to go back to the opening of remarks. I asked Bob a few moments ago. The event is Veterans Day Parade, and it's happening when and where?
It's going to be November 4th, Saturday. It starts at 11 a.m. The starting point for the parade is at the corner of 17th and Arundel and goes down to 5th Street on Arundel.
Okay, I've been bragging throughout the program, and for weeks and months and years, as a matter of fact, single largest Veterans Day Parade in the state, one of the largest in the South Atlantic region. What are we looking at this year?
Right now we have 120 units. We've got 1,950 people in it, 17 dogs, a shark, and a bear.
Okay, so we're missing 50 people to round it out at 2,000.
Yes. And we're extending the cutoff for registration tonight till 10 p.m. So we've added 5 hours to it. So everybody out there listening, if you want to get in, you still have time to go to Carteret County VeteransDayParade.com and sign up.
Carteret County VeteransDayParade.com. And by the way, I would assume if you even Google it, you'll probably come up with that as well.
It'll come up, yes.
All right. John, let's talk about this in relationship to previous years. You worked years past on the parade. We've had several interruptions, 2 of them as a result of hurricanes and 1 of them a result of COVID, as a matter of fact. Let's talk here about this year's parade. First off, do we have a Grand Marshal?
We do. We currently have 2. Dan McMahon and Colonel Burke from MCAS Cherry Point.
Okay.
Will both be attending as Grand Marshals.
All right. And of course, I worked with Dan McMahon on the honor flight. He worked diligently on that. Dan McMahon himself, a recipient of 2 Silver Stars.
Correct.
Right. And Purple Heart as well, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's a great I can tell you that he is I've talked to him. He's doing this with a certain degree of discomfort. He does not like drawing attention to himself. So I applaud that. And I think that for those who are listening who know Dan McMahon, I think that would be a great reason to be in attendance at this year's Veterans Day Parade.
Yes, Morehead City resident.
Right. And in spite of the fact that he's a Marine. We'll leave that. As a squid, I've always got to throw that in. Okay. Well, in addition to that, we have a special event taking place. Pete Benton is with us this afternoon to talk about this. This is something you've been working for now for easily a year. As a matter of fact, after last year's troubles associated with the Veterans Day Parade, you and I talked, and you said, I want to get, and you said a special event. Let's talk about that. Who have you got coming?
Well, I'm very pleased to tell you that my former unit, the United States Air Force Presidential Honor Guard, has graciously agreed to come and perform for approximately 5 days. And what we wanted to do, Lockwood, we really wanted to reach out to the veterans and their families, the first responders, fire rescue, law enforcement, and say thank you for the great work that you do for our country. So they're going to be coming in next Monday, the 30th of October, the U.S. Air Force drill team, Air Force Honor Guard drill team. They'll be here till the 5th. And we're starting out, our first schedule is Tuesday. They'll be all over Carteret County. We'll be at 7:25. We'll be at Broad Creek Middle School. We're going to do 2 back-to-back performances for the children there. It'll be from 7:50 to 8:15, then from 8:25 to 8:35. And what we're also going to do there, we're going to recognize the children of the first responders, the law enforcement, active duty, etc. And then at the end of the performance, we're going to recognize the educators. Because if we didn't have teachers, we wouldn't have doctors and lawyers and engineers.
Okay, now you've got 2 units coming, am I correct?
Correct.
The drill team and the honor guard.
The ceremonial marching unit.
Okay. Help me out. The drill team I can appreciate. The ceremonial marching unit, I would think that would be the same.
No, essentially, the U.S. Air Force Honor Guard drill team is the most elite of the Presidential Honor Guardsmen. They do some very dangerous maneuvers called the manual of arms. They're the ones who flip those weapons. Right. They are fully one operational M1 Garands that weigh 13.8 pounds, and the bayonet is sharp as a razor blade. I can attest to that.
Oh, you shaved with it, huh?
Yes, I did. But the ceremonial marching unit is some of the best marchers. They will be marching with the colors, and the drill team will be the last unit to perform. The drill team on the 4th they're going to perform at Show Center for all the people there, right by the train depot. And then we're going to have an opportunity for the parents and the children to come have your photograph and have autographs with the honor guard.
Now that's smart. I commend you on that one. This has not been an easy task though, has it?
No,
Okay. You've been working on this for how long?
over a year.
Okay. Because do they travel very often?
Oh, Lord. The drill team, that unit, elite units, are comprised of approximately 25 to 28 presidential honor guardsmen. They're on the road 270 days a year.
Wow. Okay.
All over the world for the Queen of England and Germany, all over the 50 states, NBA championships, NFL, you name it, they're there.
Outstanding. John, this is going to this should draw an attention. Gather a lot of people for this parade.
I'm hoping so. It's
What was
been a
this
lot of
hoping
hard
so?
work. There's an expectancy that Carteret County will show up in force and well represent what we're doing.
Well, I know that you'll have 2,000 present. they'll be in the parade itself. What are the units going to be made of, Bob?
We've got 4 bands. We're going to have the Marine Corps marching band from the Second Mall.
Okay.
Then we're going to have Croatan, East, and West Carteret. For bands, we're going to have the color guard from the Marine Corps, the Second Mall again, and we're going to have fire, EMS. We're going to have boys clubs, girls clubs.
But you're also going to have veterans.
And we're going to have right now we're going to expect about 450 to 500 veterans. We're going to have World War II military equipment. We're going to have military equipment from modern day. We'll have some from the Korean era. So there'll be plenty of military equipment to come out and see.
As a matter of fact, one of the participants in the parade is a Korean veteran who I know, Jim Hughes, and this is a great opportunity. John, you said something a few moments ago, and I'm going to get you real close to the microphone because this is an important issue, and it's related to the Veterans Day parade because it's about veterans, and I think that this parade is an opportunity to remind the community about the importance of veterans and also the challenges that the veterans are experiencing. And you told me something, we've talked about this in the past, veteran suicides, which is they are inordinately high.
Correct.
And it's one of those things that, quite frankly, you cannot get behind the eyeballs of these individuals. You obviously can possibly identify some circumstances, but generally speaking, it's not easy. And of course, the issue here is getting the veterans themselves to reach out and seek assistance. But you have got a program coming up in November. Am I correct on that?
That is correct. It took lots of digging, but we found an organization. Greenville VA initially helped me with this. We're able to coordinate an assist training, which is assist.
ASSIST?
ASIST, and it stands for Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training.
Okay, I knew it had to be an acronym.
Of course, it's me.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But ASIST, okay, Assisted Suicide Intervention Skills
Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training.
Okay.
And it's a 2-day course. It's a suicide intervention course. And it can be used civilians, veterans, active duty. It doesn't matter.
And it's happening when?
It'll be November 16th and 17th.
Okay. Who should be thinking about attending this?
Anyone, first responders, military, veterans, anyone that
Family members of veterans?
Absolutely. Anyone that's interested.
We have a large veteran community here in Carteret County, and pardon me, not just Carteret County, all of our listening area, Carteret, Craven, also Pamlico, Jones, Lenore. We go up as far as Beaufort and even Dare County. So our signal. My point is that today we're talking, of course, about the Veterans Day Parade and recognizing our veterans, and as I'm always quick to point out, their families. But this is also to recognize there are veterans issues that we need to discuss.
Correct. We still have 17 a day veterans that are taking their lives, 5 active duty, for a total of 22 a day.
Don't want to end it on a bad note, so we won't end it there.
No.
But I think it's an important issue that deserves discussion regularly. And of course, we're very inclined to do that here at the Talk Station. All right, we recognize that. Bob, in the process of this parade, is there a theme? Obviously, we're talking about recognizing the veterans. Is there a theme of some nature?
Well, it looks like this year's theme is going to be Coast Guard. We're going to have a great deal of Coast Guard in this one.
Outstanding.
We are going to have 103-year-old Coast Guard veteran from World War II, and then a younger guy at 100 that we're going to be honoring.
Oh, that youngster.
Yes. both World War II Coast Guard veterans.
That's fantastic. So for those of you who are listening who are Coastie related in one fashion or another, family members or active duty, formerly active duty, is a reason to be in attendance as well. And when I kind of come to a close here, we got a few moments, remind folks about Pete Benton's efforts. After a year of hard work, who do we have coming again?
The United States Air Force Presidential Honor Guard Drill Team and Ceremonial Marching Unit from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
You served with that unit.
I was deputy commander under the Reagans and Bushes.
Okay, and you have a great deal of a great affinity for this group.
Oh, absolutely. Well, like the movie said, we're a band of brothers and sisters forever and always.
Well, I'll acknowledge that right there. The other aspect of this, and we're talking about November 4th, and Bob just shared with us that though they do have a cutoff time, they were going to cut it off at noon today. You've extended it, am I correct? For
10 o'clock
units?
tonight.
10 o'clock tonight. And to go to the website, Carteret County Veterans Day Parade.com. Okay, Carteret County Veterans Day Parade.com. John, we've talked about this in the past. It was a challenging year last year, but you put the call out early this year. What was the result?
It was amazing. It was humbling. It was phenomenal. The call out we put out, and we had over 50 some odd people to the very first meeting in January. And
so you've been working on this since January?
Correct.
Oh, I thought parades just happened.
They do, yeah. We started last Saturday. But no, it did. It's been going since January, and hopefully we'll be able to maintain this group.
The challenge last year, we won't dance around it. Folks weren't as enthusiastic. You weren't able to get folks to the meetings. And so really about, 3 weeks prior to the date of the parade, you had to cancel.
We did.
No.
Am I correct on the
Well,
time?
it was September.
No. Last year, we made it all the way up to the night of the parade, the night before, and the weatherman got us. So we were there working hard that night. We had organized the parade, but we had a bad weather report, and we didn't want all those people standing in the rain.
But that was 2 years ago.
No, that was just
Last year we did the appreciation event.
Yeah,
yes, and that's after we spent hours calling everybody.
Okay, all right, yeah. But as a result, of course, there was the call out, and people recognized that. There were folks that were dissatisfied, which I, by the way,
Through the state.
Excuse me?
Throughout the state.
Really?
Yes.
That shows you how much of an influence this parade has. And it's going to even have a greater influence, Pete. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
On having the honor guard and the drill team from the nation's capital. And they're here, by the way, I want to compliment you on this one. They're here for a long period of time. They're not just here for the parade, which I think is pretty unique.
They'll be here for 5 days, actually, and the drill team will be performing. And here's the other thought process that Bob and I and John talked about. We want to talk about what unites us as a nation, as a country.
Right.
And we will always remember, since the inception of this great nation, the men and women who've given their lives for God and country. And we've reached out to Onslow, to Craven, and Carteret, and I said, you know what? This is a golden opportunity to help reunite this country and inspire some hope.
Okay. So, and by the way, the fact that this is happening on the 4th could give the opportunity for some units in other counties who might be involved in a actually November 11th event to participate. Am I correct on that, Bob?
Sure.
Yes, yes. If they get in just before midnight or 10 tonight.
10 p.m. tonight is the deadline. I'm expecting to hear that you've got more than your needed 50 to make it a round 2,000 number.
I'm pretty sure we'll have that.
I'm hoping that it'll be closer to 3,000. And then of course...
No, we don't have room.
And Pete actually got the honor guard to go down to Havelock on Friday for the Wall That Heals ceremony.
Okay, that's a good point as well. All right, I want to thank Bob Kirk, John Sortikys, Pete Benton for your work and congratulate you on a successful parade. I've already determined it's going to be successful no matter what.